Hello and welcome to part number 21. So let's take care about the base of that switch or knob or putty. So to do this, let's just create a polygon cylinder and go here under the inputs and leave the radius at 1 because it has a diameter of 2 centimeters, which is great. So let's just dial in for the height 0.5. Let's do the subdivision of the caps to 0 and the axis subdivisions, put that to 144, and I'm going to explain you why. So I was, off screen or in between, I just checked how to combine. Let me hit L5 to get back my frame shaded. So I tried to combine those two objects. So it's a matter of edge counting in the end, and yeah, so I think it's a perfect match for this piece of geometry, or two pieces of geometry. All right, so let's move it down. Maybe change the pivot of that cylinder. Press D, move it in Y, and then together V. So point snap. I think you get the idea now if you followed me. So and then we go to the side view and then move it in Y and then V middle mouse to snap it to the bottom of our volume switch. So we can go in, say Alt H just in case. Go to face mode, select the bottom, frame it on that, so only the two large faces and just delete them. Alright, so go back to object mode. Let me show all again. Let's go to the perspective view here, and let's go in here and select this Q2. So select this edge which is in front of our switch or knob, and then just delete it. So now we're going in here and selecting that edge loop on top of our cylinder, and we do an extrude. You hit R to scale that extrusion. Maybe to a point. Just move it close to our switch geometry, somewhere about not too far away. So like that. Okay, it doesn't really matter in the end, but don't bring it too close, or don't. So it's not a matter of millimeters here. Okay, so now let's go to the top view. And because the extrusion has a cone form here that we would, when you extrude a cylinder in, it's getting this cone shape down here. So we wanted this top or front part straight. So let's go in here, go to vertex mode, select the two vertices here, and we scale them flat in X. Just scale until nothing happens anymore. Then hit W to move it, and then we move it here in X first, and then V middle mouse over that point here. We do the same on the corresponding side. So select the two vertices, hit R to scale, scale those flat. Don't do that. And then scale. Scaling flat, and then hit W to move, and then we do the same here, move it first in X and then V middle mouse and snap it here. So let's check that out from the perspective. It's looking good. So we insert, so select the double click and select this edge loop here on the top of our cylinder shape, and create a bevel. So let's leave the segments at 3.5 put the fraction to 0.1. So I think if we check an image here, okay, so let's check so on this image plane here, so it looks really round. So, but I got that 303 here in front of me, so I'm looking at it constantly. So if I take a closer look, so it's not that round as it looks like here on that photo I took. So I think leaving the fraction at 0.1 should do the trick. All right, so let's move on. So go in here and select the face, shift double click and select that face loop and delete it. So now go to edge mode, select this edge, shift select this one, this one, this one and this one. So we get 5 edges selected. We do another extrusion and we do a extrusion here, local translate Z, like let's try something like minus 0.02. Check that here. Okay, so I try to, this distance here from the extrusion length should be the same as this distance here, and that's looking good to me, so it's coming close. Alright, so let's do the same here on the corresponding side. So select this edge, shift select 2, 3, 4, 5. Then hit G on the keyboard to repeat the last 2, and then we dial in that local translate Z here to minus 0.02 as well. So we should have the exact same extrusion. So with this edge still selected, just hold on shift to select the edges on the corresponding side. So it's 1, 2, 3, that little guy there, 4 and 5. So we have 10 faces here selected, and then we do a bridge to give that bevel down here. So we want to smooth that a little bit, so select this edge, hit W and then move it a little bit here, this direction, and this one as well, and this one down. So just to create a little bit more space between those edges so that they don't appear that hard when we smooth the object later on. Something like that. Okay. It's of course something we can work on later, but that's looking way better than that when you smooth it before it would be a very hard edge. Okay, so in the end we want to connect all this together. So we have to insert another edge loop here. So then hit Q on the keyboard and go to inputs and check that out. So the weight is here something like 0.299. Why not? Let's make it a better number, like 0.3. I don't know if 0.3 is a better number, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's insert the same edge loop here on the corresponding side. So again, go hit Q first, and then go to that input here, and then again like 0.3. That should work fine. And now let's. Okay, so from this angle, I'm getting picky here, so let's dial it back down to 0.25. Yeah, that's better. So do the same with that split that we did before, so it's let's 0.25. Sorry guys and girls. Okay, so we need corresponding edges here, so select this edge and then control right click, edge utilities and split, go here to the input, set it to multi, and then hit R to scale those edges out a little bit closer to the corners, so that it's almost the same distance as I see here in the background, so something like that. Okay. Alright, I think now we are ready to combine those and then do another bridge. So let's go in here with that object selected. Let's delete the history. So select our switch here and just in case delete the history again. And then shift select so that you have both objects selected. Combine them so that it's one object. So now let's check that out. First of all, go to edge mode and then double click here on that border edge down here and look here. So that's 149 edges. So do the same here on that cylinder shape. Double click on that and we have the exact same number of edges, which is great. So I double click here on this edge loop, shift double click on the corresponding one, and then I do the bridge. And boom. So now we got that connected, so let's give it some divisions, like maybe 2, oh, not 3. I just leave it at 2, so that should be good enough to give it the geometry we need. So go to object mode and then again we have those green faces here, so to get rid of that right click, assign existing material, standard surface. So and now let's just check it out and hit 3 on the keyboard and then you select the object, hit Alt 5 to go turn off wireframe on shed, and boom. So as you can see, okay, so we connected the two objects and it worked fine. So maybe go back to low poly preview and then the bridge, just to give it more divisions, like 3. And then again, let's smooth it. Yeah, it's looking a little bit better to me. So I stay with 3 divisions in that bridge. And if we want to, we could give this a little bit more rounded shape down here. Yeah, why not? So go to edge mode. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I just leave it like it is. So I think it's good enough. So nobody looks that close to an object. I mean, even if, you know, I got that thing here, so even if I need a fucking spyglass to see what we see here in 3D, so you're not able to look that close with your eyes. Okay, so I think now this part here is done, and I'm gonna pause the video and we will go on in the next one. Thanks.